Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Upper right hand corner, we got Dewalt starting as the red Protoss. Bottom right hand corner, we got Bonyth starting as the white Protoss. This is Fighting Spirit Mania. We are now in game 6 of the upper bracket final. Dewalt is up 2 sets, and he is 1 game away from victory, which would put him up a dangerously close to finishing this entire thing out. 3 sets up over Bonyth. And I feel, I'm trying to think so it felt like there were a lot of games where maybe it's just the set. There were a lot of games where it felt like Bonyth was, I'm just going to say it this way, it felt like Bonyth was phoning it in a little bit. Or maybe he was, I'm not sure if he was phoning it in and tired just in that set. Maybe he wants to like end the fighting spirit. Or if it's just Dewalt's been playing incredibly well. And it could be both. These guys are both so incredible. I mean, honestly, we've gone how many sets between these guys? So I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if Dewalt has just sprung a little bit forward or Bonyth is a bit fatigued. We could see a possible 2-gate with this pylon position. We've also seen some really creative pylon positioning from Bonyth, and I'm not sure what the logic is entirely. Maybe he's just experimenting in the space of this. This could very easily turn into, oh, is this a 9-gate? No, that's a 10-gate. I think this is going to be a 10-12 gate, potentially. Although that's weird positioning again for that gateway to be a 10, because usually you want the gateways where the zealots are able to peek out pretty easily and then immediately get down the ramp. So usually you want them like right here. This is kind of out to the side. I'm curious about this positioning. Maybe I should just, I'm sure I'd ask Bonyth and he'd be like, I was just screwing around. We do see a gateway assimilator on the back edge as well. A probe is going to get first scout from Bonyth, by the way. Dewalt going to, well, is Dewalt going to blow, well, able to get a shot off, a couple shots off, and going to proceed. Unfortunately, he didn't get the angle of the probe, so he's got to guess left or right now, or cross map. Cybernetics core dropped almost defensively right there. Probe doing a little bit of distance attacking. I think this is the probe that was the target of it. We do have an initial zealot queued up in a cybernetics core, the gas behind it. So it looks like, yeah, this is interesting. I wonder if that first zealot is going to go though. And not going to be in time to blockade the ramp, so Dewalt able to get in. Spots the cybernetics core and sees this configuration as well. I wonder what his thoughts are. Anyway, pylon in that back corner. Dewalt actually might be able to get a manor pylon, and he drops the manor pylon. Yeah, I was about to say, not a lot of cruft, nothing in the way, able to block in. First zealot out. Let's see if it goes, and actually just pausing there for a half second. Okay, now on the move. Yeah, I feel like Bonyth, maybe it's just he's tired on this one. It feels like this entire set he's been a little bit slower than his usual self. So I'm not sure if this is this is finally fatigue. By the way, I think that was a pylon cancel to get the resources back there. Probe staying active. I'm not sure if this is fatigue, if this is tired of Fighting Spirit Mania, if it is recognition and maybe a little bit of frustration at Dewalt just having a little bit of a sharper edge as it's looked in a couple of these games. I'm not sure. Anyway, range kicking up. That being said, I'm saying all this, and we could still see Bonyth do like a reverse all kill here and win the next 4 sets. I mean, he's 2 games from winning this set, so I should maybe hold my tongue, but hopefully the viewers are seeing the same thing I'm seeing. Second gateway dropped. Zealot making its way back. Dragoon is now going to press forward. Is he going to take a free shot to try to check that natural expansion? Possibly. We've got third pylon down. Was that second gate before third pylon? Yeah, that was second gate before third pylon. So I think Bonyth wanting to get very, very aggressive with this. Wants that gateway online as rapidly as possible, producing units as rapidly as possible. Still 1 gate build. Is Dewalt going to go 1 gate into, I think he might be going 1 gate into Nexus, which could give Bonyth the win here, depending on build order. So depending on the positioning, looks like Bonyth going to go ahead and drop a pylon here to the 6 o'clock location to provide some scouting. Dewalt checking out that 3 o'clock location, knowing that on occasion Bonyth does sneak out a unit to drop a pylon. And yeah, it's going to be 1 gate into expand. Now this is going to be a very tough hold for Dewalt. Although, if we'll see if Bonyth opts for, oh, he is going robo. So we'll see if he gets aggressive with this. Because I have seen in previous matches, I have since learned that 1 gate expand into 3 gate, very strong build. But it's one of those things where if you're waiting for that Reaver and you're waiting for the robotics and you're just delayed out a long period of time, that is when it ends up being a strong build, is when those 3 gates can kick online and start producing those Dragoons rapidly. We are seeing that into 3 gate. So now the question is okay, how... Dewalt going ahead and taking care of that probe so it doesn't get any scouting information. Is the next question is how aggressive does Bonyth get with this? Is it just going to be 2-gate robo... is it going to be 2-gate robo obs, or is it going to be 2-gate robo support bay? And is he going to wait for that Reaver for the attack? Right now is not able to get eyes on that Nexus. The unit's now starting to saturate that natural expansion as that Nexus is finished. He's going now. Okay. So we'll see how this ends up working out. Unfortunately, he needs to move very, very rapidly. So it's going to be 6 Dragoons versus 5 Dragoons. He needs to get there instantly to make this work. Yeah, okay. And the Zealot going to chase off, and it's going to come down to some micromanagement, focusing on that Dragoon to the right. Gets that shot. Gets another shot off. Probes pulling off the line to help defend this. And this is going to be a very difficult situation for Bonyth. Gets that Zealot. Needs to rally troops forward if he's going to make it work. Some probes pulled off. Bonyth able to see that natural expansion now. And now we got 4 Dragoons versus 5 on the low ground. Sorry, 5 versus 5 now. And there wasn't a secondary rally for Bonyth. So the Dragoons, what happened there? Looks like he's, okay, now waiting. So able to get a little bit of economic damage, able to confirm the Nexus, but not able to get much else. And maybe it was just, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that was a slow, I'll have to go back and check. I feel like that was a slow rally from the Dragoons. But now Dewalt in a position, and Bonyth just trying to get what value he can, in a position where he's going to end up undersupplied. But ooh, Dewalt exposing some of these troops as the next grouping of Dragoons makes its way down. It's still better numbers for Bonyth overall. 3 versus 3 now that are left, but at the same time you got that Reaver and that shuttle and some Dragoons still producing, and this could be the make or break moment now. Dewalt's gonna have, I think, 6 Dragoons, so it's gonna be 6 Dragoons versus 5 and a Reaver. And probes do not do well against Reavers, as people should know. Probe making its way out there to try to scout what's incoming and see if it can find that shuttle. Nice little dodge along that corner edge, so it's not going to get scouted. 4th gateway dropped, robotics facility dropped. Can Dewalt hold? Reaver pressing forward, the probe's just exiting. He doesn't even want to try to fight this. He's just going to exit to the north, might lose his Nexus. The probe able to sneak around though and get a scout all the way to the main on top of this. And it looks like these Dragoons are not going to be in time before that natural expansion drops. Also in the red. Kind of cute that that worker made it all the way across. But Bonyth now able to get the damage he was looking for. Clear out that natural expansion Nexus. This is usually how this, by the way, how this build order plays out. What I was expecting in previous matches and didn't in fact see for reasons that bewilder me, and I'm not entirely sure what they are. Robotic support bay dropping at a necessity for Dewalt. This also opens up an opportunity to potentially get observers out for Bonyth. His natural expansion planting right now, supply counts. So Dewalt is up 3 workers, but obviously down a natural. It's going to be hard for him to break out. The observer can be a huge support in that. It looks like he's going to try to do the typical ferry down, which we've seen Bonyth doing more times than not recently, to try to create a better... Oh, never mind. He's going to move forward. The observer's going to see these Dragoons out of position. And Bonyth is going to leave the Reaver here and make his way back. He's got plenty of reinforcements, and he's also got a Reaver in a shuttle. Actually, the shuttle leaving the Reaver on the low ground there. But he's also got the Reaver in the shuttle near the main, so is going to be able to hold. I don't think that's going to be a Nexus cancel, and the reinforcement off the 2-gate should be plenty to defend right there. Observer making its way up to kind of spot troops. The Dragoon's going to fan back out, recognizing they're not going to be able to engage a Reaver and 2 Dragoons there. Dewalt has his own Reaver and shuttle, and now has to break his way out from the low ground. Needs to be very careful, and this is where that observer is huge, can spot these shots. One shot right there, the Reaver almost dead. Able to get some pot shots off, but not a lot else. These 4 Dragoons making the way. Shuttle trying to make its way up. That Reaver's going to be very, very exposed from the opposite angle here. Unfortunately, it's going to be a blockade. Shuttle taking some shot. It's been wiped out. And now that Reaver is actually stranded here at the natural expansion, it's going to create some problems for Dewalt because it's going to slow down. He's behind economically now. All of my talk where I'm like, oh, Dewalt's doing so great, and Bonyth going to take this match. Reaver getting picked off immediately. The Dragoons doing a nice... I like how they're coming in at that nice phalanx angle as well. getting the good focus fire. Bonyth trying to get value by either getting that Reaver or the shuttle. Does manage to catch the shuttle. Is not going to get base damage on that Reaver. But Dewalt's now opened up his natural expansion. He's up 10 supply. But I don't think with the 2 Reavers on the low ground and the close reinforcement point, as well as that 3rd, 4th, and 5th gateway coming online, that he's going to have a lot of opportunities. So he's just going to have to drop the Nexus. On top of that is behind on Vision. He's going to go ahead and drop his 4th gateway here. I'm almost wondering if Protoss players have just timings as far as when their gateway should be out to know when they're going to drop stuff as far as gateway. But anyway, for all my talk of, wow, Dewalt looks good. We're going up to 6 gateways, by the way, here from Bonyth. For all my talk, which I love. It's like I got the economic lead. I've got space to make it work. Let's just go ahead and get those units up and press into this. Probe trying to find some degree of intel, getting wiped out. The rumors of Bonyth's demise have been greatly overstated by this commentator. I should have never underestimated him. I will stop that now. By the way, speed also developing. Dewalt trying to press forward while he feels like he might have some window. Try to get some sort of trade. He has to do this if he's going to stay in this match. Ooh, he's going to get a free Dragoon shield break at least. Rescoop. A Zealot dropping in the space of this. That feels like a donation. A big shot in the middle of those Dragoons going to send them back. Still going to try to poke forward and take out that pylon. Bonyth's happy to donate that to turn around with 6 gateways worth of production as far as a counter with some speed shuttles alongside his natural expansion gas up, by the way. We have no gas on Dewalt's side. And Dewalt hoping to find an opportunity. We got 3 Reavers here on the low ground. Yeah, Bonyth just needs to hold here, continue to macro, and he will just end up winning this match over the long run. Well, actually, as I say that, looking at the situation, maybe not. I guess it depends on the macro, because this is going to be 4 gates, so we're actually close to even on worker count. Second gas is getting dropped. Shuttle getting spotted by shuttle here. Very clever maneuver by Bonyth to use that to get the intel. Bonyth is up overall Reavers. He's got fewer Dragoons. A couple Dragoons fanning out right there. He's got him kind of boxed in. But he's got these gateways. In that space, he managed to get these gateways down, which means he's going to get really good production off these 2 bases. Which means Dewalt needs to trade very, very well. Looks like he is going to find a free pylon there at the 6 o'clock. Reaver's making that direction to maybe get some free Dragoon kills. Dewalt still, despite the 6 gateways, maybe it's because we're not up to the 42 probe count. And I'm wondering how much probe count. It looks like, yeah, probe worker count has been paused from Bonyth a bit. He hasn't gone up to, like, I think what's typical is like 42 around this stage. I could totally be wrong, and 35 actually might just be the typical across 2 bases like this. But I think I'm wondering if both are. I'm a little bit. I would not be shocked if Dewalt was doing that, thinking this is going to turn into 3 bases. Nice pick off, by the way, right there. Want to see the game in front of me. I would not be surprised if Dewalt was intentionally playing it a little bit lighter on the worker count, because and actually Dewalt actually with that pick off feels like he's done enough damage. He's going to step back, and we're actually even. Nice recovery by Dewalt. Or never mind, sorry, reverse that. Bonyth got that kill. Man, I'm having trouble tonight. Bad commentating. We'll stick with it. Dewalt going for another attack along that back corner. This time, Bonyth out of position, but so try to cover both ends of this. Reaver shots, great probe pull, so Bonyth not losing much. Only looks like 2 workers. And getting a pretty good fight, although he drew a lot of that army back. And so Dewalt now all of a sudden up a lot of supply, despite being down a whole lot of gateways. And this is where and now he's shooting up to the 42 count with the expectation of going to that 3rd. And is able to poke through a lot of this. So now Bonyth down a lot, able to reconcentrate. He's got a lot of this army stranded, so it's not like that's a concentrated group. Observer, by the way, over that gateway line. Oh. Bonyth drawing the Reaver back to go ahead and clear out what's left. And the Reaver's going into the main and now getting bonus kills. Oh, man. I thought this was Bonyth's match. I honestly did. Dewalt actually pulling them out as long as possible, recognizing he's all of a sudden got the economic lead. to just buy more time to build reinforcements to absorb the attack that Bonyth will have to throw at him now. He's down 10 workers. He's at 5 gateways about to throw on his 6 because he's at the closer worker count, although he's got fewer bases to make it happen. That's production off of presuming he's going to get another Nexus out of this. And I'm wondering why Bonyth didn't surge the probe count, because he did have the 6 gateways down. I actually want to see how quiet the gateways were in the space of that. And the Dragoons, recognizing that attack army's out of position and haven't hunted them down, they're going to sneak back into the natural expansion and get some bonus kills. Great play. Holy cow. These Dragoons getting 3 additional kills. The way this army's scrambling in might get some additional damage. Almost took out the shuttle. Woo. So Dragoons, kind of the lost squad, making themselves useful. Okay, now Bonyth still has some resources at his main. Dewalt is mined out. Dewalt, though, he has more workers. I'm not sure if it'll matter. He still needs to be able to get a 3rd in the space of this. The Observer going to go check out that 12 o'clock location. Is Dewalt just going to expand into the 3 o'clock? He's staging a lot of Dragoons. Yeah, it looks like he just wants to expand into the 3 o'clock rather than risking and just hold there with superior troop counts. I really want to go back. At the end of this, remind me, people, to go back. This is talking to Twitch chat out here. Dewalt needs to get the 400 resources to drop that 3 o'clock base. That will give Bonyth a bit of an opportunity to get another 4 troop counts on the supply differential. Right now, so if you deduct 9 from Dewalt's army, it's pretty close as far as like raw army count. But the big trick here is I think Dewalt can absorb an attack up the ramp here. Depends on what happens with the Reavers in a position. We do have the shuttle. I don't think shuttle speed's been upgraded. Bonyth also getting some High Templar out in the field. So I think Bonyth staking claim here at the 6 o'clock. That base is going to come out a little bit later. I kind of like Bonyth's play here a bit more, where he's getting the High Templar out beforehand. He's also got some gateways down beforehand. Now scooping up to potentially engage here at the... Now this is the big moment here. Able to scoop up. Dewalt fielding these Dragoons back so they don't force any splash. The Observer going to make its way down to check the 6 o'clock location, and it's going to find Bonyth just now planting. Well, maybe not. Maybe this is a fake. Dewalt actually scrambling forward a little bit here. Into the... Did Bonyth catch him? So he hasn't dropped that 6 o'clock. And now Bonyth, at a closer position with a larger army, is making his way out in the field. Picked off an Observer there as well. And Dewalt might be, if he moves in on this, might be moving into a trap. He's down in supply. We know that. I'm not sure if Bonyth knows that, actually. Okay, now Bonyth dropping that 6 o'clock. And we got these 2 Archons that are hidden in the back corner as well. No +1 weapons for Dewalt, I don't think. Yeah. So this is a larger army. It's more heavily upgraded. Could be big. Single Zealot marching out to check things. So this is going to be maybe the game turnaround. Zealot leg speed was upgraded somewhere in the space of that. This Reaver trying to get to the rear. These Reavers on that forward corner. And the Archons on full bear. And I think this might be GG to go to a game 7. 1 Reaver down. The shuttle also down. Dewalt has lost the entirety of his army in the space of this. I don't think he can protect that 3 o'clock base. That was the risk of expanding into his opponent here. Bonyth, okay, you gotta deduct 9 here, so it's somewhat close. Although Bonyth is chasing the Dragoons down rather than attacking the 3 o'clock. And did he lose the Reaver? No, he still got the 2 Reavers, so he can bully his way up. These are the moments. If Dewalt defends here, he wins. If Bonyth can't press his way up and take this Nexus out, he will end up falling behind. The shuttle's gone. The Reaver's there. The probes trying to defend. Zealots making their way in. The Archon can't get up. The Archon finally there. That's going to be able to splash through a lot of these probes. Only 1 Dragoon left. That's it. More reinforcements trying to push their way in. Dewalt now behind in workers by 4. And Bonyth, again, now going to have that 6 o'clock base up and be up on economy. The Dragoons walking their way across. We have a Reaver trying to limp its way in. The Dragoon's taking maximum splash. Is Dewalt going to hold it last second? We have some troops that are now pressing to the natural expansion. They're going to find a Reaver sitting there. Huge hit. And they're also going to start attacking reinforcements to delay things. It looks like Dewalt held at the 3 o'clock. But a massive turn in fortune. Bonyth up in supply. He's got the 6 o'clock base saturated and humming. He still has a standing army. He needs to be careful, though. More heavily upgraded, but smaller in numbers. Dewalt looking for the hunt. Dewalt able to find them. He's going to get 2 free Dragoons out of that. The Observer, got to credit the Observer right there. Now can Bonyth hold the 6 o'clock? He's dropping a pylon wall to try to defend, but that is not where Dewalt's headed. He's headed to the natural. Archons are great when they're in a clutter and can get on top of the Dragoons. We have a Dark Templar in here as well, but right now they're just taking free fire. The Reaver behind, the Dark Templar, gonna get picked off as well. Dewalt might win this still. Pushing in, he's got that Reaver down. Now he has an overwhelming amount of Dragoons at the natural expansion. The Dragoons trying to dash back to the natural. And that's going to be a dead Nexus at the natural with a good amount of resources left. An escape from the probes to get to the high ground. Dewalt managing to get resources back up at the 3 o'clock location. But that's a dead Nexus. 6 is still held though. Pylon going to get dropped here by Bonyth to hold there. The problem for Bonyth though is he's kind of in a split situation where he needs to retake his natural expansion. He needs to dash out. Whoop. Gonna get it? He needs to dash out and save that 6 o'clock base critically. If he holds the 6, actually, he still might be in this. Zealots with leg speed on top with +2 weapons, by the way, at this stage. So getting a lot of damage done on these Dragoons. Actually, might be the better part, the better unit to deal with what Dewalt's throwing out here right this second. So Bonyth's still in this. He just needs to get his workers to the 6 o'clock, maybe distance mine at the natural expansion. Not a lot of minerals left here. Not a lot of minerals left for Dewalt either. So it's basically 1 base versus 1 base. Saturation here at the 6. Dewalt is up in supply, but I'm wondering how much that matters with the +2 weapons advantage at this stage. Reaver dropping mid-map. We'll see. This actually might be a big tell. Reaver is going to get picked off. The Zealot's getting really good damage, but getting slowly kited back. A nice group up and run up the ramp here for Dewalt. He can now hold and try to deal with the Zealots. You can see how much damage they're doing though. Bonyth, is he even going to draw? Is it worth it? It might not be worth it to redrop the Nexus here at the natural expansion. It might be just better to leave it in distance mine if he needs it. Dewalt, somehow in the space of this, looks like he managed to get that 3 o'clock resaturated, is up a good amount of supply. 2 more Reavers out. He's got to do it with his Reaver shots because army versus army he loses, and he also needs to keep applying pressure and make sure Bonyth doesn't ever get an equalized army, because if Bonyth does, he will truck Dewalt. 2 Reavers pressing into this, no shuttle support, so that Reaver going to get picked off at the natural. The Reaver shuttle exposed, Reaver dies, and Dewalt once again has a slew of Dragoons, and that's GG from Bonyth. Unbelievable. Dewalt takes the set. I thought that was... There are multiple points where I thought that was Bonyth's game. Oh, man. There were multiple moments. I do want to see... This is my big confusion right here. We're going to go up to 6 gate. Let's speed this up a little bit. Where we got the 6 gates down. Now I really want to see... So we got 4 of these gates producing. How often... These 2 gates... Okay, they're producing. We got a little bit of... It feels like the gateways... Like part of it is it's just like that's the difficulty of macroing in the space of this. But it feels like a lot of the gateways ended up just not being utilized. And part of that, I'm wondering if it was... Although we are floating a lot of resources right here. Let's wait for the macro cycle to see what it looks like. So full macro cycle... And it's still 5 gateways with a mixture here. Maybe it was to get a Zealot mixture comp out. It because we still have 2 silent gateways after 4 utilized because of the worker count off 2 bases, I think. This is one of those hard bits where it's like my general understanding of StarCraft. And if I was a pro PvP player, I'd be able to tell you guys for sure. Regardless, fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That was an intense one. Thank you guys for listening.